Today's broadcast was brought to you in part by Club Music Christmas, now streaming on Apple Music and Spotify by searching Diamond K Club Music Christmas. We are at the Radio on Fire News Network studios. I go by the name of Diamond K, sitting alongside my father. How you doing?
Great.
D. Williams.
Great.
I'm D. Williams.
I'm D.
And
Williams.
you're D. Williams.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I planned it.
You did?
Yeah.
You know, now that I got you like right here, I want to ask you why am I not a junior?
Because I like the name Dwayne. My name is Dwight, and I never particularly liked Dwight.
You didn't like Dwight?
No, I love Dwayne. I mean,
I love Dwayne too.
And so I always said if I have a son, his name's gonna be Dwayne.
So I may have told you this before, but I always wanted to be Dwight instead of Dwayne.
I think you mentioned that, but I mean, if I had, it was just.
You should have talked to me about this first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also said that he'll like Dwayne better than Dwight.
Yeah. No, I like Dwight. Funny, a lot of people call me Dwight by mistake. So yeah. I'll say my name is Dwayne. And they be, Dwight. Sounds like never mind.
That's what happens to me. I'll say Dwight Williams. I said Dwayne Williams. I said no, my son's name is Dwight. Man, it's Dwight.
I don't even go that far. I don't even say my father's name is Dwight. I just all right, cool, all right.
And if we your sister, the baby sister, we thought was gonna be a boy, and it was gonna be Dwayne Dwight DeWitt.
I remember that.
But I know he didn't like DeWitt. I just liked it because it kind of.
Imagine my surprise when y'all brought her home.
Yeah.
I was, are you sure?
Right.
All this time we've been preparing for, I was going to have a brother and then another sister.
Now, you know why?
Another sister?
Because when we looked at the sonogram, and we're going back to 1987, it was real grainy. I said, I see that's a boy.
You thought it was a man part and it was grain.
And then when she came out, the doctor said, it's a girl type, just like that.
What hospital was it?
Sinai.
Okay. That's how you do in Park Heights.
Yeah.
Girl
type. And she came out just like that.
There was a noise?
Yes. I always tell Booby about that noise. She came out just like that. And
four is a charm.
Yeah.
Four is a charm. Yeah. I'm glad we were able to have some laughs because I think the subject of our discussion is not funny at all. Quite actually. If you want to join the conversation, 404-436-1277. So Alabama is having a special election today, December 11th. So they're replacing one bad choice in Jeff Sessions with another 50%. Maybe he's going to be a bad choice. Roy Moore is bad choice. Jeff Sessions is a bad choice. He was here in Baltimore today, by the way.
I heard it.
You know, I smelled the stench. I was downtown. I smelled him in just Alabama redneck racists have a certain kind of smell. And you can't quite place it. It's worse than chitlins. And my grandma's in here. She cooks a lot of chitlins. I know what chitlins smell like. And it don't smell good. But Jeff Sessions in the city smells worse than that. And that's pretty bad. But so they're replacing him with Roy Moore. Did you know of him before?
Moore?
Yeah.
Not really. Brand new.
No.
I didn't.
Not somebody that we would want to know. So here you have a judge who was twice removed from his job, right? For radical religious stuff, putting up his handwritten 10 Commandments thing and all that kind of stuff. But if you go further into his background, he has some allegations that I think should be disqualifying. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
But I had this question when I knew we were going to talk about this today, and I had this question, and I thought it might be difficult for you to answer. So I'm going to try to put yourself in this mindset. If Roy Moore was black, right? Everything's still the same. Still has those same allegations and all that kind of stuff. And he was running, and he's a Democrat, but he was black, and he's running against a white, challenger who doesn't have those things on his record. Would we still support him because he was black, or would we say we're going to vote for the white guy who doesn't have the accusations?
Well, historically, the answer is directly no. We wouldn't support him.
We would not support
No.
the black. You know how these people are like, no, those are just accusations, and he denied it, and they don't believe him.
But you know why? Like the reason I say that is because we didn't give strong support for Obama. You know, when he was when Trump was calling him and said he wasn't American. You know, he's from Kenya. We didn't stand up and say you a lie. Here, you know, we didn't.
That's true.
We're not
You're
strong.
Right.
And even when he was in office, if we have been stronger in support when the Republicans were giving him all kinds of trouble, marching and saying we're for the president, we didn't do that. We don't back up. We don't back. And then a lot of things he couldn't do because he didn't have no backup. So no, just like we were Bill Cosby, but they brought Bill Cosby off. So no, I would say this: we don't have the stick-to-itness. We won't stand behind them like they will stand behind Trump, and they will stand behind Moore. Half the people know that Moore did that, and they know that Trump did it, but they'll stand behind him, right or wrong.
But what is it? What is it that gives them that, and why don't we have enough of that?
That's a good question. No, that's one I can't answer. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that it doesn't exist, and we. I mean, if we look at the, and I'm really digressing, but if we look at the story of Nat Turner, and he tried to get the slaves to get up arms and to fight. He got about 100, but they weren't. It takes cooperation. People don't realize it takes cooperation to be a slave. You got to cooperate. It's got to be an agreement.
You mean the slave has to agree to be a slave? Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
You tell him you go pick all that cotton, or I'm going to beat your mother and your child and sell this. I mean, those alternatives. So you have to say, well, all right, or you can fight. But yeah, you got to agree to be a slave.
Yeah.
But so. I don't know. It is something that I have noticed about us that, and maybe, the questions you answered, maybe we won't stand behind that person because we feel that they're wrong. And they'll stand behind that person, not because of right or wrong, but because of, who
the beliefs or the agenda.
Or their nationalism or their race or their man.
Yeah. Yeah. So they were trying to, get the black community to come out and vote, and that's still not going to be enough. They still have to get a lot of Republicans to stay home, and a lot of them to write in another candidate in order for Doug Jones to win, who is the Democratic choice, who is the better choice.
Oh, without question.
How many times have you been aligned with Charles Barkley?
Yesterday I was.
Aside from that, no other time. Me either. So even and he's a Republican. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, he's conservative. He's from Alabama.
Yeah,
that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. But yeah, so even he is out campaigning for people to vote for the Democrat, and I think that either way, this is going to be bad for Republicans. If you put Roy Moore in the Senate, he's not going to agree with what they want. He's not going to go with the agenda the way they want him to. And if he loses, that's not going to be good for them either, because they're all excited about Roy Moore right now, right? Did you see him riding on a horse?
Yes.
The symbolism is just, you know what I mean? It's just
really, this is the last hurrah for the racist agenda be this publicized. I'm not saying that they won't do it in violent ways, maybe later on, but to be mainstream, this is it. And I think,
is that with the age of the racist? Are these like, you sound like just like baby boomers?
Yeah.
Or maybe the generation.
I think that America will, as I alluded to last week, that Obama said that when they go low, we go high. And I think that America is going to start to realize that we need to go higher. Because how can you get lower than a child molester?
I don't think there's anything lower than that.
A person who is the president that is accused of molesting women. I mean, how you gonna go lower?
And you just told me, I didn't even realize that there was another woman. So we're talking about at least 20 women,
right,
that have said something. Imagine how many haven't said anything.
And I think 4 senators have announced today that he should resign.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's going to increase. And so, as you alluded to, no matter what happens today, the Republicans are going to constantly and continually decline. And
if they put him, you can hang this one around all of the Republicans' neck. This is like a free shot that you can have on any Republican,
right, in
the next election, 2018. But see, I'm not sold on they really want him there, because you remember when Mueller was appointed to investigate the president, they were excited about that. They thought he was a good, he's gonna roll with us. They were excited. Now he made some moves they don't like. Now he's corrupt. We don't like him anymore because he's not rolling with the plan. And I think similarly they would do that to Roy Moore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only one that really wants him is the president. And what's the other guy? What's the president's main man's name?
Bannon. They're really excited about it.
And Bannon was with him from the beginning, when he ran against the other Republican.
Mm-hmm. And Strange.
And the president was supporting him. But it's going to look bad for the president if he loses
again. The president is a loser. Then the president, like he got the whack juice on him. Like he just, what I mean. He supported Strange, lost, and if he supports Moore, another loss, that'd be good. And if he blamed Hillary though.
Yeah, well, right. And if Moore wins, it's going to be bad for the president, because as you said, that every election from henceforth is going to be a child molester. The president is obsessed with women and touching them and kissing them. Lady said he stuck his tongue down her mouth. She said she couldn't scream. She's in shock. This guy.
It's really bad. And it seems to be the way that they are is that if you deny something, then that means you didn't do it.
Right.
But if you admit to, I mean, people have admitted to things that they didn't do. Coercion, police officers, forcing somebody or kind of twisting their arm about it some kind of way. But I think that it's going to be too much eventually with Trump. I don't know where it is, but eventually it's going to be too much.
Yeah, no question. He can't sustain. He can't maintain, and the country can't maintain this, because just like in the Middle East now, they're saying that America is not qualified to be the negotiator. There's no moral ground for these people anymore. So that's what I said before. We're going to continue to lose that higher ground. They're going to say, let Russia come in and barter for us. Or let China,
you always said that China was ahead of this curve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it really seems like it's there. Of course, Donald Trump being in charge of anything is just, I don't even understand how he's been successful. I don't understand.
I mean, the country can run by itself on automatic pilot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Reagan.
Because you got Congress, you got Senate, you don't really need the president for say to make decisions unless they want to put themselves in that position. But I mean, the Pentagon runs itself. I mean, not the president running it,
Yeah.
So it can run itself. But this man that's in office now, as we talked about last week, this has to be 2018 needs to be a big change. I think that even if Moore wins, and later on we have the elections in November, I guess, congressional elections.
Yep.
I think the Democrats will win because they have the higher ground.
The tax thing that they're trying to pass. I know you haven't read it. Obviously, they haven't even read it. But how bad is that going to be? Like, will we really be affected by that? Will we really feel it, or is it just something that's just like a law and we don't really feel it?
Well, I think what we won't feel it as much as the rich will feel it when they start getting windfall profits. They're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
They're gonna enjoy it, and I think we'll start to feel it in a few more years when they start saying that we don't have any money. We want to start cutting this and cutting that program, Social Security, and the people are gonna really be up in arms. So that's gonna happen, and what the Republicans have done is that they're not gonna those cuts. People won't start to see those cuts until after 2020,
right?
And then they're gonna blame the Democrats. If the Democrats are in office, the Democrats are gonna have to clean it up, and so they it's just for the super rich, and Trump is going to be in that class. He wasn't in that class before he got in office, but he's going to be in that class when he get out.
You mean he's made a lot of money being there?
Yeah, and he's going to make a lot of money when he gets out.
Make more when he gets out. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that he was going to stay even this long. I thought that he was going to just want to get out of there and not want the restrictions of the job. But he doesn't seem like he has any restrictions really. He's saying whatever he wants to say.
Right.
I think that one of the hardest jobs has got to be his press secretary, because you got to get up there and literally lie with a straight face every time you have a press conference.
Well, that's why the guy
Spicer.
Yeah, he couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
he was sweating, but this girl could handle it. For some reason because
she can't look straight at the camera because something wrong with her eye.
Right.
Her eyes is kind of it's weird. You know what I mean? So if your eyes work right, you couldn't do it because you gotta look people in the face. But if one of your eyes doesn't, you know what I mean? It's just one eye. So one eye, you can lie with one eye. Is there any amount of money they can pay you to do that job?
No, I'm not even good at that job. You gotta be fast.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
You know you gotta be fast?
You gotta be fast on your feet. And,
what about when he said this? Minutes ago, he tweeted this.
And then, they have those tweets. The government was now, he's not tweeting anyway. Because he can't even spell that good.
Yeah, but those are his thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are his thoughts. You said something last week that I didn't think about until, later. But it's so true. He would throw everybody in his family under the bus.
Oh, yeah.
To stay there,
include both of those
sons, daughters,
wife, ex-wife.
Definitely.
But like you said, that he being in this job now. This is the greatest aphrodisiac in the world for him. I mean, are you kidding? These guys are saluting, and he gets out there. Oh, please. Only thing I thought is that I thought his plane was probably better than Air Force One, but obviously it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
No.
But please, he loves this. He loves it.
Yeah, so I guess obviously later on tonight. So polls are closing now. So
8:00.
Yeah, okay. polls closing at 8:00. But when we come back next week, we'll know the winner, obviously. And one other thing I want to touch on though. So Sessions was here today, as I said earlier, and he said that the FBI will probably agree to take over the Souter case. Are we going to see any real investigation with this? Are we going to get to the real source of it with the FBI handling it, or is it just going to be just like if Baltimore City handled it?
I think Baltimore City. I don't think no police officers are going to get arrested for it, which I think police officers did it.
Yeah, me too.
And it's just, I really think that as we go forward, that there's going to be an awakening for America, because I think Trump is probably going to end up being good for us to see how low we went and how low we've gone and how we're going. And I think they're going to start coming back up. And it's interesting to think that the ex-slaves of this country are the ones with the highest morality and morals. And because Martin Luther King was the compass. And when I grew up in Martin Luther King, we had Martin Luther King and we had Malcolm X. And I could relate to Malcolm X more, you know. Somebody smacked me, I can't turn my cheek. But as I've gotten older, I realized that the moral ground, the high ground that Martin Luther King talked about is the strong ground. And
because it takes more willpower and more self-control to execute.
And you can have more effect. You can affect more people without hurting people by showing the right way. The best way to make, because life is short anyway. We are all going to leave here. And so why do I have to, we got to fight and kill each other to make, I got to take me out early. I got to die earlier than I need to be. But just like in the 60s, we were able to make a change in this country non-violently. Couldn't have done it violently. Couldn't have done it fighting them. But you have to get into their heads for them to see the right way. And they did. The Soviet Union collapsed. Of course, Reagan, but they did it non-violently. They made a change non-violently the same way. And they used the same tactics that they used in the civil rights movements.
I never thought about it like that. That's true.
And so the same thing now. We have to get right back to basics. This is about being the strongest nation in the world by not being this is the United States, not the divided states. And so I think that we're going to come together. I really do. I feel it.
Well, that's good. So you said you don't fight fire with fire, fight fire with water.
You can extinguish it that way.
Right, definitely. I want to thank you for coming.
I want to thank you for being here, for being my
son.
Well,
you are the reason I'm here.
Right. And I like that name, Dwayne.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
I didn't give you a middle name.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Because I didn't have what it is.
It's a good talking point. Because people say, well, what's your middle name? Say, no middle name. Say, you're Dwayne, no middle name Williams? That's me. Exactly. So we'll come back next week. We'll talk some more politics.
Yeah.
Because these are conversations that we have all the time.
We've been having them all our lives.
Yeah. And you've been in politics for a long time, and it took me a while to really grasp being interested in it.
Please.
It did.
I've been driving for a long time. It took you about 18, 20 years to start driving.
Oh, right. So I'm late.
No, you're on time.
Okay, so Radio on Fire broadcasts reach over 278,000 viewers per month. You can advertise your product, service, or event on Radio on Fire by sponsoring an episode of any show for as low as $50. Visit radioonfire.com/promo to get started. And speaking of get started, we have, I don't want to say a rowdy bunch, but I don't know what we're going to talk about next, but I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to take some pictures of my father, and I'll come back. And it's going to be different people sitting here, and you're going to see it. All right?